Let's take a look back. Some of the things we got done on the Dave and Darren in the morning show. In fact, we're about to give you the top 5 things that happened on that show. This is the Dave and Darren Top 5 Things podcast. It's made possible by Nature's Treatment of Illinois.
Yeah, where you can order recreational items online for the Galesburg location, and you can order medicinal items online from the Milan location, both of those through Leafly, and all you have to do is just go to their website, and the website's ntillinois.com.
Good to know. Let's go ahead and roll through these, starting with number 1.
Number one.
Number one.
You're not a big horror movie fan.
No.
I wouldn't say I am either, but there are some new projects that I kind of wanted to discuss here. One is a remake of Christine, which was originally done by John Carpenter back in 1983. They're finally getting around to doing a reboot, a remake of Christine, which is about
The car.
a killer car, right?
Yeah.
This will be done by the people at Blumhouse, which has horror fans excited. Right now, they're working on a remake of Firestarter. They're filming that up in Canada at the moment. And now the remake of Christine, announced in the works, it'll be directed by Brian Fuller, who's done Hannibal and Dead Like Me and Pushing Daisies. So that's got people excited. And then there's news of a Munsters movie.
Huh.
They're going to do the Munsters.
In black and white or color?
I would hope black and white, but they probably will do color. And like they did some color with the Munsters. Munsters Go Home, right? That's the movie where they go to England. Do you ever watch that one?
So
It's not great when they're in color.
this is like a sequel to that?
I don't know. I think it's a reboot. I don't think they're going to try and...
The next page?
I mean, Butch Patrick's the only one that's still alive, right? He might be willing to be Eddie Munster in the movie.
Absolutely.
That could be pretty great, actually. This is an argument that I find that I get into a lot, and I lose it. I mean, I say the Munsters is 10 times better than the Addams Family. But most people tend to like the Addams Family better than the Munsters. If we're just talking about the TV show, I go Munsters all day long.
I can see where you might like the Munsters better. I think the Addams Family is a better show.
Yeah, I respectfully disagree.
Well, we'll pose that to Mike Schultz tomorrow.
Okay. Now let me ask you this. Who do you get to direct the Munsters movie? Who's a director, a film director, who would be perfect to direct the Munsters? Because I'm telling you, they have the perfect director for the Munsters.
Why do they have Quentin Tarantino?
That's not bad. That'd be a little edgy, though.
Isn't that what we're looking for?
It is what we're looking for. No, they've announced the director of the new Munsters movie will be Rob Zombie.
Huh.
I mean, the guy wrote a song about Dracula, the Munsters mobile.
Yeah.
And I imagine something tells me we'll be hearing that song at least once or twice in the movie.
In the movie.
So he can go ahead and cash those checks. You know what song I think would be perfect for this
he's
scene?
certainly a fan.
Rob Zombie confirming that he will write and direct a feature film based on the Munsters. He says here, attention boils and ghouls. The rumors are true. My next film project will be the one I've been chasing for 20 years.
Only 20 years?
The Munsters. Stay tuned for exciting details as things progress. Yeah, I can't wait. I hope is he going to do it as a comedy, or is it going to be like a Rob Zombie slasher film? Because I think I would much rather it be a comedy. It's not really in his wheelhouse doing comedies, right?
Oh, I wouldn't mind the Munsters being slashers.
They're just murdering
Grandpa
people?
taking people's heads off.
Well, he's done reboots of Halloween, and he's done, The Devil's Rejects and House of a Thousand Corpses. It'll be interesting to see what he comes up with. He's been chasing this for 20 years, so he has some ideas. A Rob Zombie film, The Munsters.
Yeah.
That's just perfect.
With a badass Munsters mobile.
Yeah, I wonder, do they use the original Dracula, or do they reboot it like they reboot the Batmobile every couple of years? And let me ask you, who do you get as Herman Munster? Who would you cast as a Lillian? Who would be Grandpa? Again, I know we've said this before. It's weird that he's called Grandpa Munster because he's Lillian's dad. He shouldn't have the same last name as his son-in-law.
Yeah, that doesn't work out.
Unless Munsters are somehow incestuous, and that's part of being a monster. I don't understand. He should have a different last name than Munster, Grandpa Munster.
Although he's not called Grandpa Munster, right?
They just call him. We call him Grandpa Munster.
We call him Grandpa Munster.
Yeah, I think in the show he's Grandpa Dracula, right? His last name's Dracula.
Yes, I don't know that they don't necessarily refer to him,
but everyone calls him Grandpa Munster
yes.
incorrectly. Yeah. So who's like the Al Lewis of our times? Who is a modern day Yvonne DiCarlo? I could see like Angelina Jolie being
yeah,
Lily Munster. Yeah.
and then for Herman,
I have who I think would be a great grandpa.
who's that?
I don't know the actor's name, but he's in I Think You Should Leave. He's this guy who has a sketch where they're all sitting around talking about making a car, and he's like, "Oh, the car should be stinky."
What about Leslie
He
Jordan?
admitted it.
Leslie Jordan.
Leslie Jordan is Grandpa Munster? That's not bad casting.
And then for Herman Munster,
Yeah. Who's like a big...
Shaq.
That's not bad at all.
I bet he's looking for a project.
If you... Shaquille O'Neal is Herman Munster? That's not bad. If you have any thoughts, who should be any of the Munsters in this Rob Zombie Munster movie, shoot us a text on the text line at 470-23-NACHO. I'm trying to think, who is like a big goofy guy? I read an article the other day that Ted Cassidy, who was Lurch on the Addams Family, he was a DJ when they grabbed him to go and be Lurch.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, he was doing like a radio in Miami. And was he on the same station as Wolfman Jack? Like, that's kind of a Munsters in the morning kind of situation they had over there, right?
Certainly.
Yeah. I don't know. Who's the big goofy? Because those are literally big shoes to fill with Fred Gwynn. I'm thinking like Ryan from The Office. Would he be a good...
He's not tall enough. What are you talking about?
They got to be tall.
Yeah.
How tall do you think Fred Gwynn was? Because those were lifts. I don't know how to tell you this.
Yeah, but I think he was tall. I bet Fred Gwynn was taller than 6'5".
No. You think?
Yeah.
Fred Gwynn was 6'5". Exactly.
There you go.
Boy,
That's why I'm here.
You're good at this game.
Fred Gwynn passed away on the same day as my grandfather.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Who...
Well, that's okay. Oh no, I'm just hearing of this. It's okay. It's been 28 years.
Now, John Shuck was Herman Munster. Your guy, John Shuck from, was it Barnes and Yo-Yo? What was it called?
Yeah, what was it called?
Holmes and Yo-Yo?
Holmes and Yo-Yo.
Holmes and Yo-Yo. Yo, John Shuck was Herman Munster when they did the reboot.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we can get him.
We went to sleep many years ago. We woke up in a brand new show. Lillian is I feel like the women Munsters are easier to cast. You just get some hot young ingenue to be Marilyn, right? That's easy enough to do. There was a original Eddie Munster in the pilot, and they fired that kid and replaced that kid with Butch Patrick.
Yeah, I think you just go with Butch Patrick.
As Herman Munster?
No, as Eddie Munster.
Grandpa was actually younger than Lily, by the way. Yvonne DiCarlo was born in 1922. Al Lewis was born in 1923.
Well, that doesn't add
So
up.
the guy who played her father
A year
was a
younger.
year younger than she was.
But that's in bat years.
No, that's in real life. The actors.
Number 2.
A mother in South Africa, 37 years old, claims that she has given birth to 10 babies. 10.
At one time?
Yes. All at once. 7 boys and 3 girls. This is all from a single pregnancy, and they were all conceived naturally. Here's a photo of the expectant
Oh,
mother.
goodness.
She might have 10 in there. That's crazy.
Can we see what's underneath there?
She says she's given birth to 10 babies all at once. This is in South Africa. The term for when you have 10 babies is decuplets. Gave birth to decuplets at a hospital in the city of Pretoria in South Africa.
If you're delivering those 10 babies, it's like the famous Lucy episode with the with the chocolates.
This will break the record if they can confirm this.
Yeah, what is the record?
This will break the record of 9. A woman gave birth to 9 babies back in May at a hospital in Morocco.
So we've got documented proof of 9.
The feat has not been confirmed by doctors or the Guinness Book of World Records.
Why is that?
Doctors initially told her she was going to have 6 children, but scans incorrectly revised the number up to 8. Turns out they missed a couple. There are a couple hiding under there, apparently.
What about maybe even still? Maybe it's more than 10.
There could be still some in there.
There could still be some, like, trapped against a wall.
This woman is a retail store manager who already has 2 twins that are 6 years old. Initially, when they did the scan, they thought that there were they thought there were 6, but it's 10. They thought it was 6, then they thought it was 8, and then when it's time to push,
Might wanna
although I
take them-
can't imagine there's a lot of pushing, right? You just kind of fall out, right? I mean, she says that when she knew she was pregnant initially, her pregnancy was a rough one. She was very sick, was experiencing leg pain and heartburn. She was also worried that her unborn children wouldn't survive because, that's
a
a
lot.
high-risk pregnancy. There really
Sure.
shouldn't be 10
No.
in there. But all were born alive and well. They will spend the next few months in incubators before she and her husband can take them home. She says following the birth, she was happy and emotional. So last month, somebody had 9 babies. A 25-year-old had 9 babies. That was the record. The record stood for a month.
You can have it.
She was thought to be carrying septuplets all the way through her pregnancy, but doctors were shocked to find 2 more children when they performed the C-section. Good gravy. That's nuts.
I thought you said that they were born naturally.
They were conceived.
Oh, conceived naturally.
Naturally.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They were conceived naturally. So, I mean, when there's 10 babies, you have to assume that she's taking every hormone known to man, right? You have to assume that there's some sort of scientific
that
help going on to have that many babies.
She's been in contact with Bob Baffert.
Right. They had twins the last time 6 years ago, and now they have, again, a word I didn't even realize was a thing, decuplets. That's when you have 10 of them.
Does it say how much they weighed?
Well, they're going to be in incubators for a while, so it doesn't say exactly how much they weighed here, at least not in the story that I'm reading. I can't imagine. I mean, they're very tiny, these kids, but they're all said to be healthy. They're all said to be doing well.
That's a baseball team and the manager. That's
Right.
Not only do we have a baseball team, we've got someone who can deliver the lineup card.
So you have 2 pregnancies and you have 10 kids. That's
Pretty potent.
That's nuts. Yeah. Yeah, I would find something else to do for fun.
Sure. Anything else?
She said to the newspaper there, she says it's 7 boys and 3 girls. She was 7 months and 7 days pregnant when she had them. She says, I'm happy, I'm emotional, I can't talk much. Let's talk again in the morning,
And I'm
please.
so much lighter.
There's a real bounce in my step.
A real relief, believe me.
Oh my gosh. They thought they were going to get octuplets. Turns out there were 2 more in there that the doctors weren't able to find with the scans.
Like giving birth to a hornet's nest.
Number 3.
Three.
British woman's twin sister saved her from being eaten by a crocodile.
Thanks, sis.
They're twins, apparently. This was in Mexico. Twin sisters going for a swim.
What is this, Mexico?
It's Mexico?
Yes, it is. They're in a lagoon down there in Mexico, in Oaxaca, when a crocodile attacks Melissa. The twins are Georgia and Melissa Laurie. They're in a lagoon going for a swim, and Georgia hears her twin sister cry out, finds her floating in the water. She brings Melissa back to the boat and fights off a crocodile by punching it in the head repeatedly. The twins had been taking a break from their volunteer work with animals. Well, that doesn't seem fair if you're somebody who volunteers
I'm
for
not even
animals.
getting paid to do this.
They were taking a break. Both twins hospitalized, Georgia being treated for wounds to her hands, and Melissa is in a medically induced coma
Oh, boy.
to prevent her injuries from the crocodile from becoming infected. Hannah Laurie, who is the twins' older sister, tells the BBC that the crocodile threw Melissa around like a, quote, rag doll, end quote. Hannah says, luckily, her super badass twin sister was there to punch it repeatedly as it came back about 3 times to try and save her. I'd have one less sister if I didn't have such an excellent other sister. Relatives say that they've learned that the tour guide the twins booked through their hostel was not registered and was notorious for taking tourists to incredibly dangerous swimming areas.
Now, this might be something of an insensitive question, older sister.
Yeah.
But do you think,
I thought you were going to ask, where are you swimming this summer?
where will you be swimming this summer? Do you think the sister that got attacked could have saved the sister that saved her?
Well, they're twins.
Well, no, I'm just saying, if you had to change...
Had the roles been reversed, like
Yeah.
this twin is the one who you would want punching a crocodile.
Right.
Yeah, I wonder about that.
What's your take on that, older sister?
Georgia's an experienced diver. She said the crocodile was terrifying, but she was able to fight it off once the adrenaline kicked in. Yeah, I imagine if you see a crocodile trying to eat your sister, that adrenaline rush would be something else. You'd
yeah.
have no problem punching a crocodile a couple of times, right?
I would hope so.
Like you hear those stories of people who are able to do
Picking up cars and stuff.
superhuman things because the adrenaline kicks in. Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Able to lift vehicles off of people because the adrenaline gives them such mighty strength for that moment or two.
I would hope that would be the case.
It would suck to be like on the shore going, adrenaline never kicked in.
Never did.
What do you know?
What again? I'm just...
What do you know? If anything, I'm kind of sleepy.
Yeah.
The whole attack has made me. I could go for a nap. Being honest.
I guess I'm Mr. Cool. I don't know.
No, but you don't need to be.
You don't get to call yourself Mr. Cool. Now,
Your sister was eaten by a crocodile.
and
Call me Mr. Cool,
And I
I
didn't do a
guess.
thing about it. Call me Mr. Cool. Speaking of ragdoll,
I mean, can we take a minute just to talk about how calm I was
it
under
looks like
all things
looks
considered?
like Frankie Valli will and his 4 Seasons will be coming to the Tax Slayer Center is it April of next year?
What is he, 100 years old?
I know that he had a show scheduled last year.
Yeah.
That didn't happen. Mm-hmm. But now he's...
Does he have a song called Ragdoll?
Oh, yeah, of course they do.
What is the gimmick with him? He's 87 years old.
Is he 87?
Come on, man.
Well,
Save a couple of bucks. You don't need to be working when you're 87 years old.
just loves it that much.
You don't want to go with me to a Frankie Valli show.
I think I do want to take you to a Frankie Valli show.
No, because now that Kenny Rogers is gone, Frankie Valli's the guy. I will sit in the front row and I'll just say, Grease. Do Grease.
Well, he's going to get around to Grease.
Do Grease.
I just did Grease.
Do it again.
Do Grease again.
Do it again.
Do it again.
Like the movie. Open and close with it.
You're right. Just like the movie.
Okay, so he does Big Girls Don't Cry.
Sure.
He does Sherry.
Yeah, Ragdoll.
Walk Like a Man. I guess I know those songs.
Sure you do.
December 1963, Oh, What a Night.
Oh, yeah.
That's him, too.
Oh, yeah.
I guess I know a lot of his stuff.
Oh, yeah, they were
I thought I just knew Grease.
They were a big singing group.
So, but it's Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons?
Yeah.
Was it the Four Seasons originally? And then he was like, no.
Yeah, it's just
Put my name on the bill.
I'm obviously the breakout star.
Like, do the other Four Seasons, are they can't be the originals, right? It's just him.
Probably not.
I'm looking at a list here of members of the Four Seasons. Darren, there are 30 dudes on this list.
Okay, well then it's, yeah. We're not talking about the original Jersey Boys.
Was the whole thing his idea? I haven't seen that movie or the musical. Why is he the big deal?
Well, he was the lead singer for most of it anyway.
The other seasons didn't get
No,
to
they
sing?
sang. They sang.
My Eyes Adored You. Oh, that's a big one.
Yeah.
Okay. I just think that Grease is the word. That's the only thing I would
My
want.
Eyes of Georgia.
Do Grease again.
Grease is the word, is the word.
Barry Gibb wrote Grease, right?
He did.
Barry Gibb, from 1976 to 1981, wrote all the hits
Wrote
for
everybody's songs.
everybody, right?
Everyone.
Like Islands in the Stream, that was a Beach Boys tune, right? Or I mean, a Bee Gees tune.
Yep. Heartbreaker for,
Pat Benatar?
no.
Barry Gibb, you're in everything.
Dionne Warwick.
Why
Why'd
don't-
you have to be a heartbreaker?
Oh, okay. That's a Barry Gibb original. Mr. BG himself. Well, when is this Frankie Valli allegedly happening?
I think it's April of next year.
Oh, 20. So he'll be 88.
Okay.
Come on, that's elder abuse, man.
Double Snowman.
Four.
The CEO of Levi's is Chip Berg. Chip Berg running the.
Running the ship here.
Hello, everybody. I'm Chip Berg.
Just call me Chip.
Chip off the old Berg. That's what they call me. He says that they are blown away by the number of customers who need to get new pants, new jeans, as a result of the pandemic. The estimate is that 25% of customers need to get a new size, either bigger or smaller, now that we're coming out of the pandemic.
But not the same.
No. Well, 25% need to change, yes. Skinny jeans, by the way, are out. That trend is now done for. It's finished. More comfortable fitting jeans are in.
Clearly.
Yes. And we either need a bigger or larger waist size. Chip Berg saying the number of people who are in a new size is pretty staggering. Some people gained weight during the pandemic, and many people lost weight. This applies for men, women, and children, by the way. It's not like one demographic is dominating here. This lines up with a small study that was done back in March by the Journal of the American Medical Association. Researchers found that among 269 people...
69, dudes!
Noise. 269 people, lifestyle changes amid the pandemic translated to a weight gain of about 1.5 pounds per month. A survey for the American Psychological Association in February found that 42% of us reported an unwanted weight gain. The average weight gain for the pandemic, 29 pounds. That's
Sounds
the
like a
average.
lot.
And 18% reported an undesired weight loss, losing 26 pounds.
A 55-pound swing.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you lost some weight or gained some weight as a result of everything that we went through, you are not alone.
Well, no, but still, that seems like severe extremes.
Well, I mean, people deal with things differently, I guess. I ate a lot of my emotions and a lot of pizza pies.
5.
I was at a red light the other day, and in front of me was a vehicle, had a license plate frame that said basically something like, "I'm an a-hole and I'm proud of it." And they had a bumper sticker, and the bumper sticker, the only bumper sticker on the car, it said something to the effect of, "I'm always right and I'm never on time for anything." Which seems like an odd bumper sticker to have on your vehicle, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
I read the bumper sticker first and I thought,
I don't know who
gosh,
you're talking to.
That's weird. And then I get to the license plate frame. It's like, oh, okay. Well, this person's an a-hole. Okay, that makes sense, I guess. And they're apparently very proud of it. They want strangers to know that they're the sort of person who will keep you waiting.
I'm very impressed.
Right. You might wonder sometimes if your behavior rises to the level where people would think that you're in the wrong. This person, again, at the red light, clearly doesn't care, but others do. Others, and I'll put myself in this group, care about how the world views us. Like we want to make sure that the people have a decent opinion of us. And you might wonder sometimes, is your behavior wrong? Are you the jerk? I have 3 stories here, people reaching out to strangers on Reddit to determine if they're in the wrong. Are you ready, Darren?
I'm ready.
We'll begin with someone who is dealing with someone who's always late. It says, I've been friends with Mia for years now. Both of these are 2 women in their early 20s. It says, I've been friends with Mia for years now. She's one of my best friends. I love Mia, but there's one problem that annoys the hell out of me. She's constantly late. Wherever we go, Mia is at least an hour late, even when we pick her up at her house. I can't even count the times Mia asked me or our friends for a ride just to make us wait in front of her house in the car because she still has to get dressed or just came out of the shower or still has to eat. One time we were trying to pick Mia up in the winter and she made us wait 30 minutes in front of her house because she had to do her makeup. Mia texting that she's ready to be picked up just makes us wait in front of the house. It's a very common occurrence. Last week I snapped. I tried picking Mia up at her house, and once I texted her that I was there, she immediately texted back, I just need to get dressed. And I ended up waiting 20 minutes in the car for Mia. Quite frankly, I'm sick of waiting. So yesterday, Mia needed a ride, but I demanded she send me a picture of herself already dressed before I would leave my house to go pick her up. She got very mad at me and says she feels like I'm treating her like a baby. So am I the jerk for making Mia send me a picture of her already dressed before I picked her up?
No. This is what I would like to know. And if you happen to be this way,
Yeah,
I would like to know.
Yeah.
Because I'm a prompt person.
you are.
If you are chronically late, if you know that is something that you are,
Yes.
that for whatever I'd just like to know, why is that?
Well, it's because you're inconsiderate.
No. But why are you late? I mean, I understand people perceive that as your time is more important than mine, that sort of thing. But what is it? What are the wheels? What if you're chronically late? Why is that?
I think there's a lack of understanding of how time works. I think that people think, oh, well, that I can like they assume something that
should take
a half an hour will only take 5 minutes, and they wait until the last minute to do it, and then they
think it's going to take 5 minutes, but it takes a half an hour.
Right. I think that's it. But at the core of this, Darren,
What we're dealing with here is a complete lack of respect.
Yep, that's it. That's what it
I
is.
guess I suppose that's a good answer. I have no concept of how long something is going to take to do.
See, I tend to sometimes run late, but I hope I'm not the sort of person that runs late to the point where everyone can't deal with me.
So why are you running late?
Oh, sometimes it's just I have other things going on. I get distracted. I get sidetracked.
Okay.
Has it been your experience with me that I'm late chronically?
No.
I think I'm usually like 2 to 3 minutes late. Part of that for me, though, is I grew up in one of these houses where my old man was like, if you're not a half hour early, then you're late. And I made a vow, I will always show up either exactly on time or a couple minutes late.
Yeah, I'm not saying you got to show up a half an hour early.
No, that was how things worked where I was where I grew up, and no, that doesn't work either. When you show up for a party a half hour before the party starts and they're still setting things up, that's more inconsiderate than showing up late, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, as far as parties go, parties, I can see people showing up late for a party.
Yeah,
but
you don't show up right when the party starts. That's when nerds go to parties. Yeah, I mean, make an entrance. How about this one? My husband and I have a daughter, 2 months old. Mm-hmm. My husband does almost everything except changing diapers. He's a hardcore germaphobe, so I handle the dirty part of our son's care.
or so he says.
My husband has been pestering me about the faces I make when changing our son's diapers, telling me to smile the whole time.
What?
I told him to leave me alone. It's easy for him to say he's not the one dealing with the smell.
What are you in here watching for?
Every time I'm in the middle of changing diapers, my husband will show up out of nowhere like he just busted me or something, and they'll tell me the faces I keep making have an impact on our son's emotional state, and I should smile. He'll motion with his hand and be like, smile. I told him to leave me alone. He knows how difficult this is for me, but he does nothing to help. Instead, he just mocks me and keeps pestering me. I said, if he ever tries to hassle me again with the just smile routine, then he'll start handling the diaper change.
Or you're going to get something thrown at you.
Last night around 9, he was in the kitchen, already eating dinner without me and not waiting while I was getting ready to change my son's diaper. He came into the room with his mouth full of food and once again commented on how my face looked. And he reminded me to smile and show love and stop causing harm to our son's emotional health. Well, I snapped. I walked up to him and told him he ran out of his chances to stop this annoying behavior.
You've run out of your chances.
And he would start doing diaper changes from now on.
Yeah, no, that's...
And let's just see, I told him,
Yeah.
how big your smile's going to be. His tone changed, and he said we both agreed that I'd be handling diaper changes even before our son was born, and that I already know too well what the reason is. He's a germaphobe, yes. But he's also a parent. What kind of parent never changes their baby's diaper? I handed him stuff and asked him to enjoy while I kept standing to watch while he did it.
Yeah.
It took him forever, and as I expected, he makes all kinds of disgusted, grossed out faces, and for a minute, I thought he was going to throw up. He was finished, and I told him he just lost the smiling contest with those faces he made.
Yeah.
Well, he was mad, rushed to wash his hands, complaining about how I'm trying to get him to do everything, and that I ruined his appetite by having him experience that.
Yeah.
I replied that he hasn't seen nothing yet. And asked, since he wants us to have 4 kids, that he will now be handling the other 3. Now he's changed his mind. He only wants 2 kids. But my point still stands. He tried to argue that I'm not taking his germophobia seriously, and what I forced him to do wasn't cool, and he's been upset since then. So am I the jerk here?
Well, here's the thing. You
Yeah.
should have never had a kid with this guy.
There is that.
Yeah. So I know that you can't change.
You can't undo.
that,
Yeah, right.
But
Yeah.
no, I would. No, I'd be putting a kibosh on child 2.
Yeah.
No, and you know what else? You know what else is going on? There's no way. There's no practical way we'll have another kid. You know why that is? Figure it out, dummy. There's no way that's happening.
One last one. My husband and I hired a housekeeper. She's from another country, one that is very heavily patriarchal. I've noticed this really aggravating pattern that when I ask her to do something or make some change, she'll first have to confirm that it's okay with my husband before she proceeds.
Boy.
It is not both ways. She doesn't check with me before doing something he's asked her to do. She will only ask him, not me. For example, I recently let her know we were switching the contents of one cabinet to the basement and asked her to pack the contents into a container. She waited to do it until my husband got home and she could ask him if it was okay first.
Yeah.
I talked to my husband about how irritating this is for me, to be treated as a second-class citizen in the home by someone we see on such a regular basis. His solution was basically just to tell her, look, whatever my wife wants is fine, to assuage my worries.
Right.
Now, whenever I ask her to do something, she reports it back to him, basically seeking approval without outright asking. For example, today, I wanted her to help me take some decorations down, and she waited until she saw my husband and said, we're taking these decorations down. I was complaining to a few friends about this over the weekend, and they were more or less saying that, look, it's a cultural difference, and you're a jerk not to respect it. But I can't brush it off that easily because it causes a lot of logistical challenges and makes me uncomfortable. So am I the jerk for insisting she stop doing this or not work here anymore?
No, I mean, he should be able to sit her down and say, if she asks something, that's fine. I mean, it sounds like he tried to do it once.
Yeah, but it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It's without the man saying it's okay, I cannot do it. It's a cultural difference.
And you need a maid that bad.
Yeah, I was going to say.
You need a maid that bad, huh?
You gotta-
How many decorations you got to take down?
Honestly.
That you can't handle yourself.
Honestly, you have a maid that comes over all the time.
got a maid.
Stop complaining. Stop. I would make a bigger mess if I were you.
Yeah, you could do that.
Send the maid over to the germaphobe's house. See if she can help out there.
Is it all over, Rock?
I guess so.
I didn't think it'd be like this.
Thanks so much for listening to Dave and Darren's Top 5 Things podcast. Thanks for leaving reviews, telling your friends, downloading, subscribing, and now, look, you're done. You listen to it, and it's all over. Thanks to Nature's Treatment of Illinois for helping us put this on.
Yeah, their goal is to fully understand their clients' needs physically, mentally, and emotionally because they know it's not easy to live with a chronic illness. Their experienced wellness consultants will sit down with you and discuss what options work best to make you feel more comfortable. Frequently asked questions are answered if you go to their website. That's ntillinois.com.
Until we get a chance to do this for you again, hang loose, kooks.
You stay classy and safe, Quad Cities.
Come on, Quad Cities, represent. This is for the Quad Cities record spot. Davenport, yeah, we keeping it locked. Rock Island, come on, and it just don't stop. East Moline, yeah, they keeping it hot.
All right, show's over. I'm tired.